Welcome to No Clue Podcast, episode 153. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Tyler.
I'm Mike.
And we're here with the free agency recap, Olympic recap. That's basically it for today, but a lot of stuff is happening in free agency. A lot of teams have filled out their rosters a lot differently. The East is going to look a lot different than ever before. The West is getting pretty strong. What team you want to start with? You want to go team to team? Because I'm pretty sure every team made a move.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could talk about like the teams that made a significant change to the roster.
Well, the floor is yours. You can start with your team first.
I was surprised. You want to start with DC first?
Yeah.
DC did make a lot of moves, which is very surprising.
Right. We talked about the first, obviously, Westbrook trade.
And that was step 2. I talked about, being encouraged, getting depth, kind of building towards like being able to build a structure and like a culture on the team.
Right.
And I think all their pieces, there's no real question about how it's going to fit.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of weird because like, I just don't know. Watching the team last year, it seems they seem very thin once like any injury would happen.
Right.
Thomas Bryant goes out and now Robin Lopez is matched up against starters for like 45 games.
Yeah, and Thomas Bryant was really a backup.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hachimura missed a lot of time. We had no front court.
Right. Man, I forgot you guys even had him, even after all these trades.
Right. So it's like, and I'm happy to see that Beal is still a part of the team because there's so much stuff with him potentially leaving.
Yep.
But I really like that they build a team that's not really a question how that it's going to fit around Beal.
Yeah.
And you got a new coach on top of that coming in. But because you brought in guys who've been around, guys who know how to play, it makes his job easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, the Wizards this offseason so far are finally moving like a potential contender.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take a minute to get there. I know that.
Yeah.
But at least they're moving. They look like they're moving in that direction.
Yeah. Yeah. They're moving to get into contention for sure.
In a very packed Eastern Conference.
Yep. So let's talk about it. We obviously got the Westbrook for Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, and KCP. Also, you guys received Spencer Dinwiddie, and there was another one, right? Someone else you guys got?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Dinwiddie was the other big pickup that like I knew about and cared about.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you think he brings?
I don't know, because I've never seen him be a starter.
Right.
And he's coming in, and it's hard to imagine he's coming in to be a sixth man.
Yeah, you guys lost Ish Smith.
Exactly. And that's a big loss considering how well he played.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my thing with him, to be honest, like I don't really care if he doesn't play that well. I just want him for 82 games.
Right.
And I think we'll be fine.
And him being the primary distributor in a starting lineup will be something different for him, based off the rest of his career thus far. Right. But I think Beal has shown he can play facilitator on solid possessions at times. So if it comes down to that, I think, if Unseld Jr. can be creative enough to do that, we'll see.
I'm just happy that this team has some versatility.
Yeah. Huge versatility now.
And that's something I like looking back. I don't think I've been able to say that about DC since like before John Wall got there.
Right.
So I'm excited.
Yep. Okay. Let's see what else. What's next? Where are we going next?
I mean, Chicago made some big moves.
Chicago made a huge move. They traded for, was it a trade or was it just a
Yes.
signing
It
for
was like
DeMar
a
DeRozan?
sign and trade for DeRozan, I believe.
Right. Okay. So
I'm
DeRozan
not
is on the Bulls.
right.
Lonzo Ball is on the Bulls. Alex Caruso is on the Bulls. Uh, yeah. And then
I think they lost Tice, or did they re-sign him?
they lost Tice. Tice went to the Rockets. Yeah,
I think Chicago gambled.
I agree.
I think they filled out a roster they added some serious talent with DeRozan, obviously.
Yep,
And Lonzo, I've talked about, he's like a easy fit guy.
he is absolutely.
But losing Tice, I'm kind of questioning who comes after Vucevic in the front court.
They haven't re-signed Markkanen yet either.
Yeah, and he just, I think, requested a trade.
Yeah, so
And it's been obvious that he's been miserable there, by the way.
yeah, yep.
So I hope they finish off the offseason by getting some front court depth.
I think Thaddeus Young was part of that DeRozan trade. By the way,
I think you're right.
I can't confirm that, but I'm pretty sure he was.
And it's bad if you're losing Thaddeus Young and it's like a blow to your front court depth. That's not a good look.
Yeah, it's really bad. Yeah.
And that's my thing is like DC filled out the roster and there's balance all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
With Chicago, a team that's just now potentially going to start winning serious games.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want a repeat of what I just watched with DC. One big man goes down and there's no defense to be found.
Well, in their defense, they've tried the 5 big men on the roster and it didn't work. But obviously, different coach, right? Billy Donovan's there. We saw what he's done with depleted rosters. He's made some magic in the Western Conference with depleted rosters.
Yeah.
So it is it's gonna be different. I mean, they had 3 centers last year, and none of them really played that well. Vucevic came, he didn't play like he did in Orlando. Tice was just, a hack machine like he normally is.
But it's tough. It's tough because like mid-season pickups, they often go through that.
Right, of course they do.
And
I'm expecting Vucevic to come next year and be completely different than he was
exactly
for the rest of that season.
And one thing that's exciting for me is Levine is going to be off ball a lot more.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw CP arrives in Phoenix and look at Devin Booker.
Mm-hmm.
His efficiency is better. His role in the team is more defined.
Yeah.
And he gets to do what he does best more.
Right.
I think Levine getting DeRozan will take the pressure off of Levine to take and create difficult shots all the time.
I agree. And getting ball does that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So now you have IQ coming in your backcourt, because that's really been a big issue for them. Is a lot of the guys that are playing are inexperienced.
Yep.
And I think this just helps them out. I think this chemistry wise, it's a great move. All their pickups have been great chemistry wise.
I agree. I also think that getting Lonzo lets their guards who are also shooters like Kobe White get some shots off the ball as well. Because a lot of times Levine, not saying he's a black hole, but once he gets his ISO in, Kobe White really didn't get another shot for that possession. But now we have Ball, who's an open guy finder. Kobe White could relocate, and he's going to get shots off of ISOs now. And DeRozan's a good ISO passer too.
Obviously. And that's the thing. I think Levine is already getting better as a playmaker. I think DeRozan has emerged in the last couple of years as a much better playmaker, so he's going to help him out. I think that duo could be really impressive.
I do too. And don't forget they got the Sumo in the draft as well.
That's right.
Another scoring guard who I don't think his transition to the NBA is going to be that difficult either. I think he scored on a really high level, really difficult shots.
Yeah, he's a good transition guy too. So like being a backup guard, he's definitely going to get a chance to do things.
Yep.
And they have a good Charlotte, it has like too many guards, but in a bad way.
Yeah.
This, again, all these guards can play off of one another, can play with each other.
And they're all combo guards.
Right.
Yep. Charlotte for a while had all strict point guards, which was
exactly. And then you got like 3 point guard lineups, or you got like guys touching the ball too much, not enough.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago was getting better at that already before these moves.
Yeah. Yep. That was one thing that Billy Donovan changed immediately.
Exactly.
I mean, that was a like immediate impact. And also to his defense from last year, he really didn't get an off season with these guys.
Right.
Which is tough. Last year's coaching changes was tough because they basically had like 3 weeks to prepare for the next season.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. Speaking of Charlotte, they lost Devontae Graham.
Who picked him up again?
The Pelicans.
Yeah.
And somehow Satoransky went to the Pelicans.
For Lonzo.
For Lonzo, right. Yeah. So Satoransky went to the Pelicans for Lonzo. Did Charlotte make any other big moves? Oh, they signed Kelly Oubre. And I think that's it for Charlotte. Oh, and Ish Smith talked about that. Any thoughts?
I mean, like similar to Davion Mitchell getting drafted to Sacramento. Shout out to him, by the way. Great first summer league game.
Yeah.
Like of all the places Ish Smith could have went, this is the last place I want him to go. And what's crazy is like, I'm confident that Ish Smith is gonna overtake somebody's spot.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's that good. Like he's a guy who, the way he plays, you have no choice but to put him out there with a bench lineup. And
he outworks everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I just think like Charlotte has spent this offseason like sort of upgrading their guard play, which was the strongest aspect of the team last year.
Yeah. They signed one of the best scoring guards in the draft. They lose their best scoring guard, but then they pick up Ish Smith.
I'm watching the plan, and like Cody Zeller is not enough.
And he's gone.
And he's actually like, he's not a scrub.
No, he's not a scrub. No.
And I'm watching him and I'm like, yo, he can't be like the go-to big, and then Biyombo is subbing in for him, who's got literally 0 IQ.
Right. Or then they brought in like a rookie, right?
Yeah, they've done like I remember they would just throw out Hernan Gomez when their front court was playing bad a lot of the time.
Right.
So
he's not really a center, but they play him at center.
So I don't know, man. They did the opposite of DC. They just made moves, but I don't know the direction.
Yeah, me either.
They downgraded to me, but they moved as if they're like upgrading like the strongest aspect of the team. I don't get why.
Also getting Kelly Oubre when, I would argue they're two most consistent players is Bridges and Washington, which play Oubre's position. So
exactly. This team, I can already picture them going like 3 guards and 2 wings.
Yeah.
Just playing like ultra small ball. Maybe it works. I mean, I like how they played last year.
2 guards and 3 forwards.
Right.
Yeah, they did that sometimes too. PJ Washington would play as the big in the game. So,
but that's what, like, I'm skeptical about the moves, but I'm not too concerned with them like being awful, because their chemistry, their roster was not a good fit on paper last year.
No, it wasn't.
But the chemistry was great.
The chemistry was great, and I think that maybe just some minor coaching adjustments, they could have really made it work. Because I think Graham is someone, because he's such a good shooter, and because Ball has such a good height, they could have made that combination work well at times, because neither one of them had to play point guard. No one on the team has to play point guard. They really didn't have a true point guard on the team, but they had guys who, preferably liked to play the one.
Yeah.
But they had room to fiddle around with the 2 guard lineups more than they did last year.
Yeah. And I guess the bottom line with them is, you mentioned Ball. I think the way the team looks next year is based off of how LaMelo improves.
Yeah.
If he could finally start playing 30 minutes a night and like be consistent enough, right? Be consistent enough to be out there for more than, stretches.
Yep.
I think this team is going to get better.
I do too.
Even with their limitations.
Yeah, me too. Yep. Shout out to PJ Washington. Hope he's okay. Let's go to the Heat. The Heat made some huge moves. Obviously, they got Kyle Lowry, which we talked about last time. It wasn't official at the time, but now it's
apparently they're being investigated for potentially tampering.
Yeah.
And the Lonzo move is also being investigated.
Yeah, the Lonzo move, I'd be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if this Lowry one gets tampering, because we already knew. Just like we reported it before it happened, just because everyone else kind of already knew it was happening. So
yeah.
So they got Lowry. They re-signed Robinson and Butler. They got PJ Tucker. They kept all their young guys, and then they re-signed Oladipo for I want to say 2 years.
I think it was just a year. I think it was just a veterans minimum year.
Okay, he got a year.
Melo.
Then they got Markieff Morris as well. So what do you think? They re-signed Dedmon too, I think.
Miami's weird to me because they
lost. Oh, I meant to say they lost Dragic and they lost Kendrick Nunn, and I think someone else went to the Raptors.
Where did Dragic go?
The Raptors for Lowry.
What? Oh, yeah. That's right. I forgot he was part of the trade.
Yeah.
Miami. It's tough because I was a big Miami fan. Like, as far as how they played, I was one of the, maybe not many or few, but a certain amount of people that didn't think their bubble run was fluke.
Yeah.
They got into the playoffs, made me look stupid, unfortunately.
Precious Achua also went to the Raptors, by the way. Not to cut you off, but
Miami's solid. Miami's weird because, like, I don't take, like, Lowry is the only impactful move for me. I really don't care that they re-signed Robinson. I don't really care about the guards they lost. I don't care about Morris because Miami's one of the, maybe there's like 5 total teams that do this well, but they develop guys almost within the organization.
Meaning
next year their backup guard could be Gabe Vincent, the Nigeria guy.
Oh, okay.
And like Kendrick Nunn is a guy who came out of nowhere, and they made him look like a good NBA player for a while. that's the thing. Like Miami, to me, with their like fill-in moves just to make the roster whole, it's never gonna look like a mess as far as how they fit.
Gotcha.
So again, Lowry's a huge pickup. I just don't know. Looking back on that Milwaukee series, I don't know if Lowry would have made enough of a difference for the outcome to change.
Okay.
Like it really comes. Does he elevate Jimmy Butler? That's all we need to know.
Exactly. That's really where we're taking it anyway.
And I know they play, pretty similar as far as how physical they are, how all around they could be.
Yeah, but the biggest difference is Lowry's effort is always there.
Always
there.
So if there's a leadership change, which it should be because Lowry's that like great of a character guy.
Yeah.
I think Miami is going to surprise people again
with being
one of the top 2-3 teams in the East.
Do you think that would be a surprise this year?
I think them handling the first 2 rounds and maybe playing one of the other top tier Eastern teams.
Yeah.
And winning, I think a conference finals trip, I think would surprise people.
Okay.
But again, like I trust Miami could have, they lost Precious, for example. Yeah. They could have some random big man next year coming in and that I've never heard of that looks really good for them.
Yeah. And I mean, they did sign Dedmon and he's a good backup big. He's a really good backup big.
Not many teams could sign like a mediocre to below average big man, and he comes in and he's one of the better workers on the team.
Right.
So again, roster moves have never been an issue for Miami. Never. Mm-hmm. It's crazy that they
leadership, you think?
Not always, but lately, yes.
Gotcha.
And again, similar to Charlotte put the keys in LaMelo's hands.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler, I don't think they gave him the keys. He took them. And he's not giving them back. So hopefully he shares the keys with Lowry or gets him another set.
He may give him back. He may just give him to Lowry.
I need that. And that's the other thing is like, does that make Jimmy Butler better or does that make the things we don't like about him more consistent? Which would really freak me out.
Yeah, that's the big question. Let me ask you this: does Oladipo start or no?
I mean, this is a Cousins situation to me. I hope he plays.
Yeah,
because they already talked about he's not going to be ready to start the year.
Right.
As soon as the injury or he had the surgery, they talked about him potentially missing all of next year.
Right.
So I really don't care if he starts or not. I just want him playing.
Yeah, I got you.
And healthy.
I got you. Okay. Let's move on. Where do you want to go next? You want to go to Lakers?
We mentioned the Pelicans. I think they made some interesting moves.
Oh yeah, they did. We talked about the Bledsoe trade last time.
Right.
Bledsoe and Adams for Valanciunas. They picked up Devontae Graham.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Huge
and and Satoransky and Garrett Temple, I think. And what else did they get? I'm missing one. I'm missing something else they did. Maybe not.
I'm not sure, but I really like that they looked at what happened last year, and obviously Stan Van Gundy had to go.
Yep. Nice quick move too.
Right, but the guard play wasn't good enough.
Right.
Because
and maybe it was just clearly a bad fit. Yeah. Yeah. If they didn't think it was good enough, it was obvious that it wasn't the right fit.
I'm happy they got competitors who are like hungry to play well and hungry to make the team better.
Mm-hmm.
Because I really didn't see that like Lonzo, last year was the first time I ever looked at Lonzo as a potentially low IQ player.
Yeah.
And even when he sucked on the Lakers, I didn't think that.
Right.
I thought all his problems were just like kind of softness and a lack of aggression.
Mm-hmm.
It was never like an IQ issue.
Right.
And last year, again, I think a lot of it was Stan Van Gundy and just how the team just gave up.
Yep.
But all the guards looked really low IQ.
Yeah, they did.
So again, you changed the coaching because obviously that had to change.
Mm-hmm.
And now you made moves to, again, there's no real question about the fit.
Right. And they got younger a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think, again, this is a team that's moving as Zion goes, as Ingram goes, and those guys have been getting better. This is what you do as a good team. You just kind of fill out the roster to help those guys get even better.
Yeah. They got a lot of Carolina guys on that team now. Getting Graham and Ingram.
I would like to see the Pelicans play defense in my lifetime.
I definitely think they will this year.
Because maybe they've played defense in my lifetime, but not as the Pelicans. When they were the fucking Hornets with CP, they played defense.
Right. And that was 15 years ago.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Okay. And I didn't mention the Hornets losing Malik Monk earlier either. Let's get to it, man.
The Lakers filled out the roster.
The Lakers roster, it's stacked, but it's in a weird way, right? It's not like this isn't the Warriors team when they got Cousins and Durant. This is like a
I don't think stacked is a good word for it.
No, it's not. They don't really have any weak links on the team this year so far, at least based off these pickups. They got guys that aren't, maybe they're fading in their career, but they have all guys that seem like they're available to get on the court and compete. As far as
it's
now at least
looking at this is LeBron. This is gonna be LeBron's fourth year on the Lakers, or fourth, I think.
Fourth.
Him going to the Lakers, made them such a W organization.
What do you mean?
Because when Kobe was on his way out, this organization looked disgusting. Did it not?
Yeah, it did.
I mean, literally the following there's 5 players after Lonzo Ball that would have been a better draft pick than Lonzo Ball.
Yeah, but before Lonzo, I thought they drafted pretty well.
They drafted pretty well, but they didn't play like it.
Right. Yeah. Right.
And again, they were in this situation of maybe Julius Randle's great, maybe Ingram is great, but we don't know. We're not really doing anything to help them develop. We're just losing.
Right. And that's the thing. They've never been a great rookie development team.
Exactly.
Never.
And it was surprise. Deloading was like a weird. He had that whole situation. That kind of threw things off because I thought it would have been interesting to maybe if deloading had another 2-3 years to develop there.
Me too.
Maybe they would have had an identity a little earlier, but
yeah.
Again, LeBron gets there, and every offseason they're the most exciting team.
Best GM in the league.
But this is the first time in Cleveland, he never looked like the best GM in the league.
Right.
In Miami, it wasn't him. Miami was the only place he wasn't a GM.
I don't know about that.
Dude, the
thing is, he's never had this much money to work with.
That's right.
Cleveland, they didn't have enough money. After Kyrie and Love, they just couldn't afford anybody else.
But it's shocking that they had so much money and they scooped up all these guys for the combined like Kuzma contract that he had last year.
I know. Yeah.
It's like they literally have like 6 or 7 guys that add up to what Kuzma was getting paid last year.
But in the Cleveland defense, think about the guys he brought there. Just on paper, not how they played, but think about on paper the guys he brought there. He brought Darren Williams there.
It sounds good, yes.
Derrick Rose, D Wade. He got Crowder and IT there for Kyrie. He had Richard Jefferson there. I feel like he brought a big there. Maybe not, but on paper, that's crazy. All those moves are really crazy. That's all I'm saying. On paper, they didn't play it good, but
that's the thing. Like a lot of those moves, other than maybe like Crowder, a lot of those moves, my first reaction is like, are they gonna fit?
Yeah.
None of these guys they picked up, maybe Kendrick Nunn,
have a problem with fit.
I mean, what's the issue? Malik Monk is. It's crazy that he's coming to the fucking Lakers and he's probably going to get more shots in more consistent time.
I know. And me and you have been championing him for a while, saying he's better than how the Hornets are using.
And I want to see if we're right or not. Like the Hornets didn't even let us see if we're right.
Right.
And again, Kent Bazemore, easy fit guy.
Yeah.
Any wing position you need, Kent Bazemore.
Yeah.
Wayne Ellington, shoot the ball. Downgrade defensively, but
he tries. I mean, he gives effort. Yeah, he tries. He's not going to go out there and just get worked.
But, yes. Again, and they're standing their ground on Schroeder, which now that they filled out the roster, they're in the power position.
Yeah,
and it's better for them because good riddance, Schroeder. You don't want whatever we're paying you. Go away.
Right. And then Ariza is another guy. He knows his role everywhere he goes.
Yes,
he's in the point of his career where he's just comfortable with his role.
I gotta say, Melo was a shock to me.
Me too, man. I really thought Melo would give his loyalty to Portland now.
I know.
They took a chance on him and everything.
When he was like in the purgatory of basketball career.
Yeah, his career was in it and Portland's franchise was in it. So it was a great match.
And he said, nah, we're not it. And he knew what Damian Lillard knows, that it doesn't matter how well I play, we're not nowhere near good enough.
See, you made a good point, because my thing is maybe he knows something we don't know about Damian. So he said, well, I might as well leave. So
yeah, and there's no way Dame was happy about Melo not coming back.
No, I'm saying maybe he knows if Damian is coming back or not.
But I'm saying, like, if there was like, if the organization and Dame are on better terms than it seems, this was not a move in the right direction. If you're planning on keeping him.
Right.
But the Lakers, again, I mean, if age is my only concern for my role players, I'll be fine.
Yeah, because there's always somebody younger.
Exactly. I got enough of them, guys available. I mean, McClung looks good for them. He might sneak in there like a new Caruso or something.
Yeah.
So, again, the way the Lakers play, I'm not really worried about like how all these guys fit in.
I didn't even put together McClung and Caruso. That's funny.
I mean, it's different. I can see McClung like playing the same role that Caruso plays. He's just smaller.
McClung is getting a lob this season from LeBron at least once.
I'd like
maybe
that.
More than once, huh?
I'd like that. I want to see him play.
A lob is coming for sure. Maybe LeBron to get the steal and McClung will follow. Maybe LeBron will toss it up.
I can already see it. They're getting mad at Kendrick Nunn because he's not touching the ball, but he's also not making open shots.
Yeah.
Because he's not touching the ball. Right. So we need something different. Mac, step in.
He's gonna get exposed on defense, though.
Oh, for sure, especially the first couple games. Oh, if he goes out there against like a Drew Holiday, whew, man,
yeah, really bad. Exposed,
man, that's gonna look rough.
Yeah,
but I don't remember Caruso coming in as like this guy's gonna play. He's gonna be like the backup guard.
No, not at all.
Caruso just showed up. He played great, everywhere he needed to play well, and now he's a quality backup player.
I tell you what, if there is one thing that LeBron has done his whole career is make young guards look great. He made Mario Chalmers look great. He made Norris Cole look great. Boobie Gibson, he made look really good. As soon as LeBron left, he was gone. As soon as LeBron left, Chalmers, Cole, gone. He made Caruso look great. We'll see what Caruso does for the Bulls, but he made Caruso look great.
Dellavedova, he made Dellavedova look great.
He did, yeah. So if there's one thing he does well, and again, I've been saying this for years. This is one reason why him and Lonzo worked at times, was because you don't have to play on the ball. You don't have to be a point guard with LeBron on the court.
It sucks that he messed up his groin that year, because they were like emerging right before that.
They were, yeah. And the chemistry was looking good.
Exactly. They were clearly a playoff team.
Yeah.
And I think they would have been a fun one because they were very like shootout based.
Yeah.
Like they were very high scoring, not much defense. So
yeah,
it's tough that season didn't really work out.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Lakers look great.
I can't believe LeBron's gonna have Melo to kick it out to. I cannot believe that.
When Melo hits that first three, and LA is gonna go crazy.
Dude, LeBron's gonna give him the cross-court bullets. He's gonna give him like the drive and fancy kickouts.
Yeah.
He's gonna do like the no walk away without even looking at it.
Oh yeah.
I could see Melo getting a 30-piece multiple times this year. Because LeBron,
I would be surprised, but it's possible.
Because Portland didn't commit like, oh, Melo's got to go and we can, feed him more.
Right. Yeah.
If Melo gets it going, the Lakers will kill their whole offense to feed him the ball.
Well, one reason why too is because Lakers have rebounders that don't need to take shots. They don't need the ball to take shots.
We forgot about Dwight, by the way.
Yeah, and they got Dwight back. Yeah, great really pickup. Really good.
And with Gasol still being there, you got two backup big. I don't know if he retired.
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure he's coming back.
Yeah.
That's two bigs that could go out there and just fill up the paint.
Yeah.
So again, the paint protection is still going to be the best in the league, no question.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll give a hot take. This is probably the most good players LeBron has ever had on his team. It's not the best players, but the most good players. This is probably his best team, honestly.
I think this is the most complete team he's had ever.
Yeah, I think so.
Hey, man. Again, the LeBron comes in and the organization like wakes up.
Yeah,
and Pelinka in hindsight was a top tier move.
Yeah, well, I think one thing is with LeBron, there was a difference between LeBron and Kobe with how you approach, because with LeBron, you say, okay, LeBron is still the best player in the league. We have about 4 years left. We need to win as much as possible. So like there's a hourglass running on LeBron's career, Yeah. With Kobe, they were like, all right, we're just Kobe is done as far as championships, which was like his last 3 years, probably.
As soon as the Achilles tear.
Yeah. So they said, well, we need to start planning for the future. And that's where it was like a rebuild with Kobe still on the roster. This time it's like, yo, we need to win now. So that's the moves they made. I'm really, really excited for Malik Monk. I don't want Malik Monk and Kendrick Nunn out there at the same time.
I hope not. I hope Frank Vogel and he likes to play mad scientist with the lineups.
Yeah, he does.
LeBron
made Taylor Horton Tucker look good too, by the way.
That's true. And Horton Tucker, by the way, the other guys we talked about were clear-cut guards.
Yeah.
This put him at the one thing.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
What the fuck? It was so random, and he's clearly not a good playmaker. I never questioned that he was a good playmaker.
Right.
So I don't know. But I do agree LeBron made him look good.
Who starts at the 2 for you?
I think Wesley Matthews. And that's an L. Don't get me wrong. But I told you they're gonna feel they're gonna feel KCP's absence either way. Okay, let's say it's Wayne Ellington. Is that a good 2 guard every night?
Not the same as Wesley Matthews.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Wesley Matthews is more experienced. He's a little more physical.
Yeah.
And he tries, like, he's shown the capability to be a good defender.
Yeah, he has.
So I think just the experience, his minutes, I'm sure are going to be limited, but I can't picture Wayne Ellington, because if Wayne Ellington is starting, I don't really want to see Wesley Matthews out there.
Well, maybe I don't know.
So to me, Wesley Matthews needs to either start to fill out the rotation, or he just needs to Jared Dudley.
Just not play.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
they still have Jared Dudley, don't they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. He's Jawad Howarding it for sure.
Yeah.
But
this is the coach.
No, I need Malik Monk to come in at the 2. And obviously he's not a starter.
First off the bench?
Yeah, I think so. I think that scoring punch gives them like a different dynamic.
Yeah.
Which they tried to force with Schroeder a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with Monk, it should be a little more natural.
I think maybe starting Bazemore could be an option. Because Bazemore, he could play the 2 a little bit, but they lose the shooting, obviously. Because I saw him last year. He didn't have
Bazemore's such a wild card.
He is.
Because he's one of those, he can't shoot, but he'll get hot.
Yeah.
He's not that good of a defender, but all of a sudden he'll wreak havoc.
Yeah.
He's a competitor. That's what he is.
He is. Okay, moving on from the Lakers. Let's see who else. Who else has made anything? The Nuggets basically kept everybody they had. They signed Jeff Green. That's really the only difference. Pacers signed Torrey Craig.
Hey, Jamal. That's a nice pickup.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Boosts the bottom 5 defensive team.
Yeah.
I'm curious how they had a bad year. Like they kept having, like, for a long time they had like positive years where they wouldn't be that good, but they'd overachieve and they'd kind of make some noise in the playoffs. Like, a move here, a move there could take them to the right place. That didn't happen. This was the first year in a while I could think of they had a step back. Yeah. Multiple steps back.
Yep.
So I want to see how they bounce back from
that. Let's talk about a few more small ones. Warriors signed Otto Porter. They signed Iguodala, and they signed Bielitsa. And then obviously Steph got the $215 million contract. Yeah, it's crazy. First ever to sign 2 $200 million contracts.
I love it though.
Yeah, you got it. I mean, that's an easy one.
Easy, yeah, no question.
Yeah.
He's one of the rare guys who, like, I still can't believe he, like, I don't know what he did to his ankles.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's like some new wrap came out or some new like technology to wear or something.
Well, Under Armour made something specifically for him.
Whatever they did, such a W.
Because
Because
you notice it changed after he got the Under Armour deal. He started wearing those weird braces, those real high ones.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he's had, knock on wood, but he's not had ankle problems for a long time now.
Yeah.
And his injuries, he's gonna get hurt because he's smaller frame.
Yep.
And he is a top tier layup guy, so he does drive.
Yeah, he does.
But as far as paying him, man, he changed the game. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, that's one of the easiest contracts to offer.
He's the face of the league.
He is.
He missed a year and he was the face of the league.
Yep. Does Otto Porter do anything for him to you?
Yes. I think
you like it?
I think Otto with Iguodala, I like the Iguodala pickup with Otto a little bit more, because you watch the Warriors last year, we start getting into the depth. We either got randoms like Bazemore doing too much, or you have young guys trying to do too much.
Yeah.
Iguodala is again exclusively a good fit guy.
Yep.
Because now with Iguodala, Poole gets better shots.
Yep.
Toscano Anderson gets better shots. All those guys that we stressed about, like taking too many shots or like bad shot selection.
Yep.
Otto and Iguodala help that.
And Otto hits the threes that Oubre was missing.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
There's no way Otto gets as cold as Oubre got.
No. And Otto mixes it up very well too, because I mean, in college he was like a center power forward at times. And he's
pretty much a center,
Yeah, his short range jumper, his mid range jumper is nice. He's going to get in and get those. If his shot's not falling, he's going to get a jump shot from somewhere else. Oubre, if his three's not falling, it's just not falling for like weeks.
What's funny is like the Warriors they're going to get healthy at one point and just go insane.
I know. It's coming.
It's coming. I don't know if it's this year, because, I'm after what happened with Clay last year, anything is possible.
Right. And we don't know if the big man will ever be, if Wiseman, we don't know if he's going to get healthy or not. Because I still don't know if he's healthy now, in and out.
But the Warriors, man, if that day comes where everybody's good and it stays that way, oh my God.
Yeah.
They're just gonna throw themselves into the playoff race. And I hope they're a low seed, because I want them to really challenge somebody in the first round, which they're very capable of.
Oh, yeah. And I also think that with Clay healthy, I think Wiggins gets better. If they keep Wiggins, I know that's still up in the air, but I think Clay getting better definitely makes Wiggins better, because Wiggins, he's still struggling to get his mid-range off, but with someone not being able to help out the corner, not being able to leave the corner is definitely gonna open it up for him to get those little baseline drives. So
and now like those younger guys, again, Poole, Anderson, some of the other guards, like now they fill more of the Sean Livingston role, the Matt Barnes role, whoever, Harrison Barnes at one point. It's like it's never too much. Like Poole is never out in the game too long. Now Toscano Anderson is never in the game too long.
Right. And you never need the Poole and Steph on the court at the same time thing, because that was ugly too.
Right. So I think Ross, as far as their depth wise, it's interesting, because I thought they needed more moves. But looking at just those two pickups, I think it rounds out their depth so much better.
Yeah.
And if they're
And
healthy, they'll be fine.
and they picked up two, it looks like pretty solid rookies as well.
Exactly.
Kaminga early,
Right.
he's kind of a stretch for, and then Moody, which I mean he's looked great. So I like their they drafted well too. So more young guys. Lost Oubre. They traded Pascal for a pick, I believe. But
That's a manageable loss.
yeah, it is. It is.
Because Pascal had like a step in the wrong direction year.
Yeah, he did.
So, I would have liked to see him get another year there, but I also like that he's getting a change of scenery.
Yep. Well, let's talk about that. The Jazz. The Jazz picked up Pascal. They picked up Rudy Gay. They picked up Hassan Whiteside.
They re-signed Conley.
Re-signed Conley. Yep. And that's it, I believe. I like all those moves.
It sounds good.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. I like
sounds good. Again, I really don't have negatives. I think they're going to use them pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I just, again, Donovan Mitchell, like another offseason where we could look at it and say, okay, Donovan Mitchell doesn't have to be the hero as often.
Mm-hmm.
And yet this is going to be, last year was like the second or third year in a row where they upgrade over the offseason and we're in the playoffs and Donovan Mitchell on one good ankle is playing hero.
He's still going to have to play hero with this team.
Obviously, he has to play a hero.
Yeah.
But it can't be 48 minutes every game of the series. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, I want to be excited. I like Rudy Gay. I think helps him a lot.
Yeah.
They finally have like a quality shot creator
off the bench.
Yeah, because we talked about it countless times, but Ingles either only passes or only shoots.
Yep. And Ingles never feeds somebody when they're hot.
Yeah,
no matter how hot Donovan is,
he has no feel for like a good guard, like how to be a good point guard.
No, he doesn't.
And I'm not mad at him for that. It's just Utah puts him in that position to like have to do that.
Yeah.
And Bogdanovich is obviously only creating for himself.
Yeah. He's another guy, either only shoots bad shots, or every time he touches it and he's open, he takes it. So it's like one or the other.
And now, again, like Royce O'Neal is getting better.
Yeah.
Now you get a little more depth for when he's not playing as well. Because when he didn't play well in the playoffs, it's like a make it or break it situation. He should be a quick sub if he's not taking open shots.
Yep, I agree.
And now you have the option to make him a quick sub. Now, Rudy Gobert, you have something different you could do when Rudy Gobert is getting cooked for 40.
Or he's in foul trouble.
Right.
Now you have someone else who can catch alley-oops, who can, challenge shots. Because I think Whiteside does better when he doesn't have to challenge shots for, 30 minutes. If he goes in there for 10 minutes and, he can use some fouls, that's better than, hopefully he gives more effort. I'll say that. I'll just say hopefully, because I'm not very hopeful. But they also fixed the Niang problem that we've had with Pascal and Rudy Gay. They both kind of play the stretch four. So
the problem was just him playing like he shouldn't have been playing.
I know, but also the role they wanted him to be, because their starting lineup has the Ingles and Bogdanovich, who are like de facto fours, who are able to do the dribble handoffs, who are able to hit open shots, who are able to facilitate the offense. And now you have Rudy, who can do that. You have Pascal, who can hit an open shot. Nice inside out game, who can do the dribble handoffs comfortably, who's done it with the Warriors. So yeah, definitely. I think all of them are definitely upgrades, because their bench was Sorry, obviously.
Yeah, and Conley's the gamble because he's getting older. He's injury prone.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Conley goes out. This team looks like their depth just got obliterated.
Yeah, they still don't have a backup point guard. Still, with these moves, they still didn't get one. Because who was it last year? Clarkson, like played point guard for them.
He didn't play point guard. He was like in the position,
Right.
based off of how shitty the bench was.
Exactly.
So, again, I'm trying to be positive, but I know from watching Utah as many years as I have the last like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Getting to the playoffs. If any significant player is hurt, Donovan Mitchell has to run the entire show.
Yep.
And again, we know that's not enough.
What if they got Shooter? What do you think? You like it or no?
Then I'd be really then I'd actually have like confident positivity.
Yeah.
About what they could do.
They can't afford them, but it would be interesting. Of all the teams that
I think Ish Smith would have been a huge pickup for them.
Yeah, we would have been. Yeah.
Because Ish is good at the lineup's not that great, so let's just like speed shit up. Let's just get creative.
Yeah, those good shots off.
Yeah,
he controls the tempo very well.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the Nets. Big moves.
We talked about their re-signings, I believe, right? Blake and Bruce Brown.
I don't think we talked about Bruce Brown.
I swear I feel like I mentioned that it's great. It was great decisions by the team. Because I do remember talking about them signing what's the guard?
Patty Mills?
Yes, which apparently he's not going there.
No?
I saw something that he's going to a different team, I thought. But I forgot to save it. Anyway.
Well, they've made nice moves this offseason. I mean, getting Blake back. I don't know if I think we talked about that too.
Yeah, I feel like we talked about most of their moves because they made them pretty early.
Yeah.
Again, I'm happy they didn't stir the pot too much.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have the recipe for success. They're similar to Utah. They need health.
Yeah, they do.
And I mean, Utah needs it more than they do. They could overcome at least an injury or two. But, when you spent the whole year and literally your big three are taking turns getting hurt.
Yep.
You can't build any kind of like consistency that way.
Yeah.
So I hope this year we get to see their like consistent identity.
Yeah, me too.
Because it hurt them in the playoffs where, as soon as the injuries started piling up, they fell back into like KD and OKC days.
Right.
And that's not a good look for them.
And I think that's going to be the biggest thing this season. I think because the playoffs happened how it did, I think it's going to be really a big hit on their chemistry. Because I think Durant will get to the point where it's like, yo, didn't you watch last year?
Dude, there's no way Durant is that toxic.
Bro, I'm serious. I'm dead serious. I think that's possible.
Okay.
I think Durant is gonna. I think Durant may have trust issues going into this next season for the rest of the roster. So hopefully he can trust Kyrie and Harden and Patty Mills if they get him, and Blake, and just say like, these are all basketball players. I don't need to take 25 shots or 20 shots even.
I'll tell you what. I don't think this is a hot take. If they don't have any significant, like if their big three plays, 70 plus games, each of those guys,
yeah,
they're the first seed in the East, no question.
I think so. Yeah.
I
I
think
don't think that's a hot take.
they have too much fun at their best last year. They were having way too much fun on offense.
Yeah.
Especially in the regular season. If, Kyrie plays more and Harden's out there more.
Yeah.
With those re-signings, and Patty Mills is only a positive.
Only a positive, yeah.
So,
especially since they lose Sham, who they weren't using.
Right, so. And they didn't have Dinwiddie all year. Clearly, they didn't need him.
Right.
So, Joe Harris, I need you to make open shots. That's really it.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Let's talk about the team who had the best offseason in the entire league. Oh, man.
Don't be sarcastic. What's the team?
The New York Knicks. What do you mean?
Of course.
What are you talking about?
Re-signing D Rose?
They re-signed D Rose, re-signed Julius Randle. They re-signed everybody. Right? I don't think they lost anybody. Oh, Bullock. They lost Bullock.
Big loss. Sneaky big loss.
Sneaky big loss.
Where did he go, by the way?
The Mavericks. I believe the Mavericks.
Good pickup.
Let me confirm.
I feel like I mentioned that, though.
Yeah, the Mavericks. Mavericks signed Sterling Brown and Reggie Bullock. And they kept everybody, too, other than Josh Richardson, obviously. We talked about that.
Mavericks, we'll talk about the Mavericks closer to the season, I think, a little more.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when we'll really see.
But I like that they didn't go crazy. I'm happy that they didn't go crazy in the offseason because they lost in the first round, but they weren't like just a first round and out team. I think they have a lot more potential.
I agree. All right. The Knicks added Kemba Walker. Finally brought him home, man. Oh.
Took way too long.
Evan Fournier and just everybody else that they had. I believe Burks is back. Nerlens Well is back. Taj Gibson is back.
As long as D Rose is back, I'm happy.
Yeah. Rose, Kemba, and Fournier.
They're not quite. I'm not surprised that they didn't get. And Kemba is a significant pickup for them.
Yeah.
But I'm not surprised that they didn't have a splash in the offseason.
Yeah, I'm not either. They also had a lot of draft picks, 4 draft picks, I think. So I mean,
that's not. I don't like that as much because they're not a team I trust the draft picks.
Yeah, but I'm just saying they're not looking for a
right.
Not they know they're not contending. So
I need another year of, and this is a lot because again now teams are going to be ready that the Knicks don't suck.
Mm-hmm.
But I need another year of a potential. They don't have to make the playoffs, but I need to see another year of them battling for the playoffs.
Like kind of the second to last Carmelo year, where towards the end of the year, Carmelo was leading the league in scoring, but the team was still competitive, even though we were catching L's every night.
Because they have to prove to the rest of the league that their culture is legit.
Yeah.
Because if they're a fucking bottom feeder team again this year and all that positive stuff last year was fluke, it's back to square one.
Yeah.
I pray to God that doesn't happen, but it easily could.
Yeah, it could.
One injury and season can end like that.
Yep.
So they have to prove to these big time players that they're working their way towards the Miamis, the Atlantas, all the elite Eastern Conference teams. I need, as a star player, I got to see that you're moving towards those teams.
Yeah.
If I'm going to think of coming there.
Yep.
So, but Kemba's a good first step.
Yeah, he is a good first step. I like getting Fournier too. He's been a really good career scorer.
You upgrade those stretches where D Rose doesn't have it going.
Yeah.
And it's like there's nothing else to offense and like Randall's playing poorly.
And those stretches when RJ Barrett doesn't exist.
Right. You at least upgraded that to some extent.
Yeah. And then now we're gonna have Mitchell Robinson back, who was playing great before he got injured. I mean, the league didn't talk about him enough. I thought he was playing fantastic before he got injured. He was one of the best shot blockers in the league for a little while.
Yeah.
And then
it's tough. You know what fucked him up is Noel and him were like 1A, 1B as far as how good they were defensively.
Yeah.
And they like if it was only one of them playing for the majority of the season, I think there would have been a little bit of DPOY hype.
Yeah, you're right. I think you're right.
Them being able to like interchange for one another, I think kind of offset their individual success.
Yeah, good point. Because Robinson was a defensive force for a while, and then he went out, and Noel obviously was
exactly
most improved candidate. Then in the draft we got Jericho Sims, who's obviously another crazy strong big man, shot blocker, obviously a dunker. Everyone's seen him hit his head on the rim by now. And Quentin Grimes, who was a pretty good player at Houston and Kansas. I like it, man. I like their offseason a lot. As a Knicks fan, it's definitely a step in the right direction. I don't think any of the moves are negative because we didn't really make a lot.
Yeah,
losing Bullock was tough, but
I take Fournier that's over Bullock. You can't win everything.
I take Fournier over Bullock anyway.
That's for sure.
Yeah,
it's interesting because we have to cherish this offseason because I'm pretty sure this is the first offseason in our show, like in our show's existence, that we've been positive about Wizards and the Knicks.
Yeah, so, it is.
And knowing both of those teams, that's not a moment that will last for too long.
Right, of course. The East is going to be competitive, man.
Very.
I think the Raptors are still going to be pretty good with Dragic.
And I'm happy there's more wild cards that I'm excited about.
Yeah, we got the Bulls, we got the Knicks, we got the Wizards. I don't know how Charlotte is going to be without Monk or Graham.
Charlotte is like a lesser wild card to the other teams you said.
Yeah.
And another lesser wild card, I think, is the Cavs.
Yeah.
Because they're starting to become like Sacramento.
Yeah.
To where they clearly could win any night.
Yeah.
Even though they're not that good. But it's just like the experience needs to improve. The kind of the structure of the team maybe needs to change a little bit.
Yep.
But I think the Cavs showed positive steps last year as well.
Yep. Yeah, I think so. The Pistons made some more moves. Did we talk about them getting Olynyk, Lyles, and Corey Joseph?
Wow, they got Olynyk?
Yeah.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, they made some sneaky moves.
The other two I don't care about at all, to be honest. If Lyles contributes, I'll be happy. Same thing with Joseph.
Yeah.
But I like Joseph, I really never liked.
Me either.
And Lyles just looks soft.
Yeah, he does.
Like he got to the league and clearly the league was like, yo, if you want to play, you better learn how to fucking shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks like that's all he works on.
Yeah, it does.
Because every time he's out there, he looks awful doing anything but taking jumpers.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But again, I think the Pistons are another one. I think they're a little bit above the Cavs or Charlotte as a wild card.
Mm-hmm.
Because they made like their draft was so great, as we talked about.
Yep.
They made moves to fill out the team a little bit, like you just said. I think they could win a good amount of games next year.
I think so too. Yeah.
And they're not a free lick. Their thing is like they really didn't have that bad of a year. Their first like 2 months were just abysmal.
Right.
So if they start out a little bit better, and I think Cunningham, and just the kind of the different roster, I think will give them that energy.
Yep.
I could see 30 wins, no problem with this team.
I could too. Yeah, I could. Yeah. Nice. Like you said, they had a nice draft. Obviously, Olynyk's not really a negative, especially depending on how much you use him. But he's not really a negative. And then you got the guys coming back. I think Corey Joseph was a good pickup because their guard is so injury prone at the moment. But
it's a good point.
Other than that, I'm excited for them too.
You know what's crazy is I'm thinking about the Eastern Conference. There's not a free W on the list.
Yeah,
like even Orlando, who's by far the most random of all the rosters.
Yeah,
they're competitive every night.
They are absolutely.
Toronto, even though they got worse, competitive every night.
Yeah.
So, and we really don't know. I think Toronto, the leadership is what's going to hurt them a lot.
Yeah.
But roster wise, I don't think they downgraded that much.
No, me either.
And if Siakam gets better, I also think they'll be an easy 30-win team.
Hopefully he gets better. One more thing. There's been some trades from the draft picks that we haven't been able to cover. Like Jared Butler from Baylor. He got traded to the Jazz. BJ Boston from Kentucky. He got traded to the Clippers. I'm just looking at the names that I recognize.
I'm really happy for Butler, man.
Me too.
Because he's going into a spot where there's a void, to the spot that he plays.
Exactly. And he's already played with the Mitchell.
And Butler's a competitor. Yeah. From what I saw in college, so I'm not worried about him kind of shying away from the moment.
Right. Yep. I noticed that and I was like, wow, that's actually a great move for the Jazz. Jason Preston traded to the Clippers from the Magic.
I don't know who that is.
That's the kid from Ohio with didn't get any looks in high school, went away for a year, and all of a sudden he was averaging 40 points a game or whatever. You didn't hear that story, the success story?
I missed this guy. My bad.
Oh, no, that's cool. Like I said, Quentin Grimes got traded to the Knicks. Keon Johnson got traded to the Clippers. No one else really high. Butler is probably the biggest name that got traded. So, yeah. Okay. Did we talk about every team?
I mean, Philly, I think Philly made some good fill out moves just to kind of keep the roster mostly intact.
They picked up Niang and Drummond.
Re-signed Danny Green, I think today or yesterday.
Yep, re-signed Danny Green, re-signed Korkmaz.
All good decisions.
Yep. Yeah, because the team was there.
Right.
It wasn't like the team wasn't.
I think without Ben Simmons, the team is there. And we've talked about this. We've talked about the hypothetical that one of them needs to go.
Yeah.
And I think they could lose, now obviously it has to be Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
Because of the disgusting shit after the playoffs. But prior to that, we've talked about Embiid potentially being the guy that goes and the team succeeds without him.
Yeah.
And again, I still with this roster, I see both of those scenarios.
Me too. Like you said, because of the coach, it is going to have to be Ben. But the way the team is, either one, because you're going to get something for them, right? You're going to get 2 all-star caliber guys, or at least an all-star, something like that for either one of these guys. So, I think they bounce back either way.
While they are going to get a lot for Ben, it's time to relax on the I need 3 players and 4 draft picks.
Yeah.
it's Ben Simmons. It's not like Damian Lillard. I get it.
Right.
Paul George back in then, I got it.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons, I'm not trading my future for Ben Simmons. No way.
Right. You're right.
So, and the fact that they expect teams to do that is, especially considering how you just treated him, as if the league didn't see that.
Right.
It's like they fucked up his trade value and are now like, yo, y'all don't want this guy? He's nice. Like, what?
Yeah.
It's really bizarre. Like with Dame in Portland, that's like a slow burn, and Dame is like, there's no subliminal shit there.
Right.
They
genuinely like Dame. They just can't help her.
Right.
Yeah.
And this situation is turning into more and more of a mess.
Yeah, it is.
And it's Philly. I hate that it's Philly's fault.
Yep. And the thing is,
Doc
Philly
Rivers specifically.
It's Doc's fault, but it's also Philly's fault because I think that last year the writing was on the wall that one of them needed to get moved. And now they I feel like they stretched it a little bit. Like they tried to stretch as far as they could. They got Doc. They tried to make it work. Like maybe we just need a new coach. But obviously the chemistry is destroyed now.
The writing's been on the wall for 3 years now.
Yeah.
Since they've played together, that's the writing has started appearing on the wall.
Since both of them play better when one of them is injured. Like either one of them will play better when the other is injured.
Yep.
Like Ben Simmons looks like LeBron when Embiid's not there, and then when Ben isn't there, Embiid looks like Hakeem. So it's like, obviously the two together end up losing games. So something's not right. Again,
I really hate that they've put themselves in this position of like Ben has to go.
Yeah.
Again, if it just, we want to move Ben, but there was a fallback of, okay, we got to run it back. We couldn't get the move we like or a trade that we liked. We got to run it back.
Yeah.
This team is perfectly they're in great position to do that.
Yep.
So, but they took that option off the table.
Yeah.
Just by being assholes, to be honest.
Yeah.
Nothing really nothing crazy.
Yeah.
It's rough, man. I feel bad for Simmons, and I feel bad for the team because this kind of overshadows how good they are.
Yeah, I also feel bad for Ben because it's late now in the offseason, and a lot of teams have made their moves. They've made their point guard additions. We talked about maybe the Jazz. They signed Conley now. The Raptors made their move. I don't see them making another trade to get Ben. That was one of the options. That's the one we thought was the best option. And some of these other teams that could trade for him. I think I saw maybe DeJounte Murray, Lonnie Walker, and somebody else for him.
No way.
But then they already lost DeRozan. So what's the point for, Ben is going to go to a team that sucks, basically, because all these other teams are filled out, and the teams that aren't will have to lose everything for him. So,
I could see, I'm not gonna lie, this situation, not only is it getting messier, but it's again, the options are disappearing before our eyes.
Yeah.
That's I could see like an NFL style situation where he's sitting out.
No, I don't think so.
You think he'll play if they don't do anything with him?
I do. I think he'll play.
Wow. That's gonna make either him look really bad or Philly look really bad. Considering how final and conclusive, apparently Ben Simmons doesn't talk to anybody in the organization.
Yeah.
And it was all his fault that we lost the playoffs.
But remember, they said the same thing about Harden, and Harden started the year out playing.
I can see that, but that wasn't Houston didn't say yo, Harden isn't good enough.
But Harden said that about them, and
But that's different. If Ben Simmons was like, yo, like if Ben Simmons said some messed up shit, coming back from that, you only Ben Simmons would look bad.
Yeah.
This is the team shunned him.
Yeah.
And now it's like that's going to be way more awkward to me than what the Harden situation was, and that was really awkward.
If he goes to this current Warriors team, what do you think? If the trade that they're trying to do happens, if it's it's Wiggins, it's like 2 picks, Wiggins, Looney, and 2 picks or something like that.
That's perfectly. I think they're great if that's the move.
I know. I think they might have wanted Wiseman, but they can't give up Wiseman now. So
yeah, as long as if it's only like a couple players that the Warriors move, I think this is a great pickup.
Yeah.
But if we gotta fucking slash the depth to get him, I'm good.
And only him. That's the other issue.
Yeah.
If you give me him and Maxey, that's different. At least someone like that. I was trying to remember who else on the bench.
If Philly is serious about moving him, I think they're gonna have to start getting a little more
creative.
Yeah, a little more creative with the trade package.
Yeah. What about like who do the Rockets have now? I was thinking Wall and maybe 2 of the other Rockets, something like that.
That'd be cool.
The Rockets would have Ben, Porter, and Jalen Green, Tice, and Wood going into the next season. I like that. I like how that sounds. But
I don't know, man.
It's gonna be tough regardless.
Again, like we keep saying, the situation is heading for just disaster.
Yeah. Magic have nothing. I went through all the teams. I don't see any team that has a viable trade option for him at this point. I really don't. The Kings, I'm not trading Fox. Like, there's no one in the league I think I would trade Fox for unless you give me like Lillard. It'd have to be a top 5 point guard at this point.
So, yeah, like any of the guys, slightly better or on his level, like maybe like a Morant or some wild like that.
Yeah. It'd have to, like I said, it had to be someone at least arguably top 5, because I think they probably feel Fox is top 7. So I'm not going to trade anything lower than that.
This whole Ben situation is like a learning experience for how not to run the team and how not to handle free agency.
Yeah, it is. We didn't even mention them getting Drummond. I think that's a huge pickup.
I think you said it, but
we didn't talk about it.
It's not a huge. Yeah, we didn't. It's not a huge pickup.
No, you think he's gonna get minutes?
He got to he wasn't a huge pickup for the Lakers.
Yeah, but
and what that there's nobody to blame but him. Ain't no way you're blaming Vogel for him playing like trash.
No, not Vogel.
Not LeBron. Not AD. Come on.
It just wasn't a good fit. It wasn't a good fit at all.
But why?
Because they wanted something that Drummond is not.
A rebounder and a finisher?
No, they wanted Drummond to make. You saw them try to get Drummond to make post moves. You saw it.
You're right.
That's not his game.
But that's because he's never available. He's like, for a guy that fucking big, how you on the court with LeBron, all these threats, and you never open?
But that's not his game. That's what I'm saying. They wanted something that he's clearly not.
Drummond, that's Drummond's problem. This is like his 6th, 7th year.
Yeah.
What's his game? We know he rebounds a lot, but like for some reason, watching him on the Lakers, he'd get 10 plus rebounds, and I don't feel his presence.
Yeah.
So again, I need something a little more than just I grab a lot of rebounds. Because you big as shit. You should do that.
Right.
So
You're right.
I need to see him, like Dwight Howard at one point had the shift of, okay, I'm a role player, but I need to have an impact with my role.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Drummond embrace any role or have a consistent impact in it.
Right. I agree with that.
Again, you're almost at a decade in the league, and all you do is rebound. That's not enough.
Yeah, you're right.
And it showed because, I mean, he went from oh man, the Lakers did it. The Lakers got who they needed. They're all set.
Yeah.
So now he's a clear-cut backup.
That's what I said.
In half a year, he goes to, he's a quality starter, potentially a top-tier big man, to, hey, good pickup as a backup.
Right.
That's a quick downfall.
It's a huge downfall.
And part of it is him blaming the Lakers for him not playing well.
And him embracing the downfall is the biggest issue. Like, I'm not going to the gym to dap and beat up if I was a starter and I'm a backup. That video of him going to dap him up,
sad, I was like, as wow. Hell.
You saw it, right?
Yeah, dude.
That's like, oh wow, he really is embracing that he's trash.
I'm really questioning Drummond's toughness.
It's beyond question for me.
Okay,
the question's been answered.
I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I'm happy that we're on the same page.
It's officially been answered. Him dapping Embiid up, the question has been answered for me.
One of the weakest moves I've ever seen.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's see. Hawks signed Gorgie Jang. That's cool. I'm just gonna go through these small ones. Raptors waive Aaron Baines. Nice. Celtics signed Cantor. Cool. Bucks got Rodney Hood, George Hill, and who's the other one? They got Semi Ojale. They got Bobby Portis back.
Yeah, I like that they filled out their depth to be able to handle, like regular season adversity.
Yeah.
Because really, they didn't really need depth, but they will if, guys miss time or get hurt. Things that often happen in the regular season.
Yep. Yeah. And losing PJ was interesting. His whole we got dogs speech sounds really whack now. Now that you just leave the team.
PJ is pretty whack, to be honest.
Oh, sure.
Other than the shoe game, I don't really fuck with any of his other personality traits.
Exactly. Justice Winslow signs to the Clippers.
Oh, Reggie Jackson re-signed.
Took a minute,
but
Kawhi is in talks of re-signing. It's not official yet, but he was also in talks of going to the Lakers. So until he signs, I'm not even gonna talk about it. Doug McDermott and Zach Collins to the Spurs.
Oh,
Bill McGee to the Suns. I like that.
Doug McDermott moves around like he's like super garbage, but he's not.
His contract isn't garbage. He got $42 million, 3 years.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. I mean, 42 is maybe a bit excessive. I would have given him like the a little bit less than maybe like Caruso.
Bro, he's getting 42 for 3 years, and Bobby Portis just won a championship, led the team to a championship.
Dude, I don't even want to.
Nine
start
million.
Going down that rabbit hole, bro, you'll lose sleep because some of these contracts, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
I don't know what Bobby Portis was thinking about. I know he likes Milwaukee and he played well, but he can play well everywhere. He played well for the Knicks. I mean, if you could play well for the Knicks, you could play well for any team. And you just won a championship. Stock is at an all-time high. You take that low. You let them just disrespect you like that? It's crazy.
Oh, by the way, Atlanta, the slight concerns we had with Collins, they re-signed him.
Yeah, they did. Yep.
I'm very happy for that, by the way, because I didn't want to deal with that situation potentially getting messy
Yeah, me either.
and Atlanta looking not as complete as they are.
I think um Collins was just kind of playing a power game
A little
because I
bit.
don't think he ever had any intention of leaving.
Yeah, and for what he got, it's kind of weird because like they didn't break the bank. They did pay him a lot,
Yeah.
but they didn't like demolish the cap space to get him,
No, they didn't.
which was interesting that he had the selflessness to do that.
Yeah. They re-signed Lou as well. And like I
it.
said, they got Gorgie Jang, which is really good pickup since Okongwu is going to be out probably for the season. And Gorgie Jang is a really good backup.
He's a really underrated player, similar to
Yeah.
DeLon Wright. He's capable of filling a lot of like things that you need, but he doesn't really get a chance to do it that much.
Right. Really, he's been a good shot blocker since college.
Surprisingly capable shooter.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's had a really improved jump shot. Yeah. Yep. So I like that too. And they, obviously they had a pretty good draft as well. Yeah. I don't think I have any more to talk about as far as those go. Waiting for Ben, we talked about. So
is the Dame request still coming?
yes, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yes. For 100%.
100.
I don't think Carmelo would have left if he didn't know that Dame was leaving. That's what I believe.
Yeah, it's a interesting theory.
And the thing is, bro, the only move you make is getting Cody Zeller and Ben McLemore. I just told you the team is not championship worthy. So you break the bank on Norman Powell. You lose a Hall of Famer named Carmelo Anthony, and you sign Ben McLemore and Cody Zeller. That's how you improve the roster after I just said publicly to the news that we don't have a championship team. That's what you do.
You're missing the big point for me, at least. Nurkic is still there.
I mean,
ain't no way
publicly said that was an issue. I'm saying just the issues for Dame.
That you're right. Yeah, it's not that I expect Dame to make that an issue, but right. No competent franchise watches the last two playoff runs and says Nurkic is the guy.
Right.
There's no way.
He's clearly a backup to me, based off how he's been playing.
He's a bad team starter.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Sacramento, go nuts. Just down the way.
Yeah. What, you trying to get him? You mean trade for him?
That would be like a good like fit for him.
Oh yeah, it would.
Team full of guys who are inconsistent, who don't know how to win. That's I just described Yusuf Nurkic.
Yeah. Yeah. I really wanted the Dame and CJ thing to work out. I wanted people to be proven wrong who said that they couldn't work together. I wanted that really badly for them. But it's over. Yes. If he doesn't get traded, I mean, I hope he doesn't get traded for Ben because I don't want him to go to the 76ers. They'd have to give a lot, though. More than just Ben.
I should be more excited about him going to the Sixers, but for some reason I'm not.
Because the thing is, and this is my issue with Embiid that I've noticed, you're never going to get the full of anybody as long as Embiid is out there. Like, you don't get the full strength. You don't even get the full repertoire of Seth Curry with Embiid out there.
That's why it's shocking to me that people think he's better than Jokic.
Yeah, no.
Because Jokic is like, he's often been a bad chemistry guy, and people still get to thrive playing with him.
Yeah.
And Embiid has shown no improvement of that.
The thing is, it's one of those like pickup game kind of things. if I was playing in a pickup game, I'd probably pick Embiid first. But if I was starting a franchise, I'd pick Jokic first. It's like two different things.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
For any given night, I think I might pick Embiid, but not for 82 games. Yeah. I'd rather have Jokic. So it's one of those. And they're close though, obviously. 2 MVP candidates this year. Okay, congratulations to Team USA for all the stuff we've won, but mainly for the basketball, because that's what we've been talking about. They did not silence the doubters, by the way. Like they played good. They got it done. I shouldn't say they played good.
Yeah,
they got the job done. They got the job done. Great. We got gold medals, but everything we've had, every issue we've had with them for the whole Olympics was the same, even in the last game. But I'm just champion them for now. If you want to break down the game, we can. But
I don't know. I don't want to champion them. I'll champion one person, and I've been negative. You've been negative about him a lot. Yeah. Right? I think rightfully so in a lot of ways. Yeah. But after yesterday's performance, today is not the day to criticize KD.
You're right. He got it done for us.
Yeah,
he did what he had to do.
After that France loss to start with, he put the backpack on.
He did.
And again, we've already seen in the league the flaws with that play style.
Yeah.
But because and this is probably the biggest reason I give him a pass for kind of embracing playing like that so much.
Yeah.
Is the issues we had, like you said, never improved. They never got better.
Right.
I've watched, I watched a piece of the Spain game, a piece of the Australia game, and I watched this whole game.
Yeah.
I saw maybe 10 good offensive possessions.
Yep.
I just, again, KD, and this game actually started off like we're trying to play good offense. It's not looking that good, but I see the effort. Yeah. I see the effort to distribute the ball. Devin Booker's getting shots. Drew Holiday's getting shots. Bam is getting shots. None of that shit is working because we're not getting to the fucking rim.
Right.
And, like shots, sometimes you just don't make shots. That's a normal thing.
Right. Not making shots and not playing good aren't the same thing.
Yes.
Right.
And my problem is the biggest problem for why they looked as bad as they did against the better teams. Because obviously you look great. You shoot well against Iran, easy W. Same Czech Republic, same thing.
Yep.
But the real talented teams, Australia, you had to shut down before and get layups before you started going off. This is my problem is 3, 4, 5 minutes into this game, shots, we're 0 for 7 from 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I still see the offense is designed to take jumpers.
Yep.
Just because they're there.
Yep.
So, the game was getting so disgusting. And it was, luckily France didn't get hot or pulled away early on, because if they did, good chance it's a different game.
Yeah.
But France also was turning it over a lot and not playing very well. So it was only like 8-2, 8-4 early on.
We did a pretty good job of making them take tougher shots than they had.
And there were some positives in this last game that I'll get into. But with this offense, again, like it looks so bad.
It did.
I told you this, I think after the game. Why is it such a challenge for everybody on the team to touch the ball?
Yeah.
I don't get it. It's everybody gets the ball and they have this weird tunnel vision of I have to make a play, like a bucket play. Nobody's on the court other than maybe Drew Holiday. Nobody's on the court to just continue the offense.
Right.
so many times guys get the ball, Devin Booker gets the ball, and he's trying to play like he's in Phoenix.
Yep.
Jason Tatum gets the ball, he's trying to play like he's in Boston.
Yep.
How are we in the final? I'm assuming a good month of practice or a couple weeks.
Yeah.
We've played 4 or 5 scrimmage games, 4 or 5 regular games. And again, there's no growth.
Nope.
There's no improvement. It's just KD. We're sucking today. Take over.
Mm-hmm.
And credit to him because he did.
And actually, to refute most people's points about this team, the fact that we can play like hot garbage and still win the gold tells me that the world is not catching up to us. Like, it's not like, we
it's not as like close as people are trying to make it seem.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like the world is taking baby steps to catch up. I think individual talent is a little bit faster. Like it's starting to catch up more.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not just Dirk that's playing like the face of the league and playing for another country. There's like 2, 3, 4 guys now.
Yeah, a lot of these teams have really good starting fives.
Exactly.
For the Olympics, not for the NBA, but yeah, for the Olympics.
But again, I just don't get it. Okay, so the offense, the first half of the first quarter, the offense is disgusting. KD gets going, and it's weird because I thought, and this is what I've loved about Olympic KD in the past, is he's never forced. He plays off the team and thrives.
Right.
And in the second quarter, I think there was a play or two where I think if I remember correctly, Devin Booker has it up top. Spacing is great. He swings it to KD, wide open shot.
Yeah.
After that, they run several KD ISOs.
Yep.
Why are we running KD ISOs when KD started eating before we even gave him ISOs?
That's the part I have yet to understand in KD's like 12 years in the league. I still don't understand.
But here again, like everybody's playing like trash. There was never a point where I'm like, damn, KD, like guys are getting going, it's time to move it around. Or you don't have it going, it's time to move it around.
Right.
Nobody else. Jason Tatum gave me 5 minutes of contributing basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Middleton gave me 2 minutes of contributing basketball.
Yep.
Drew Holiday, good defense.
Dame hit a few shots in the beginning of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and Levine had that one weird ass bounce, by the way.
Yeah,
from the corner.
Yeah,
but again, like Draymond comes into the game, and one thing I love about Draymond in Golden State is he opens up everybody else to get touches.
Yeah,
not necessarily. It doesn't have to be to take a shot or make a assist, just to be involved.
Yeah. He sees the floor very well normally.
Yeah, but why is he like the de facto point guard when he's on the court? Why can't he just move the ball?
I hate when Draymond has it up court and is like directing people.
Again, I don't understand. I'm watching this entire, and this was the only game I watched, like an NBA game. I watched the pregame, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I saw no offensive growth in any capacity.
Nope.
It blew my mind because if KD didn't have it going, and if Rudy Gobert could hit a little bit more free throws, you lost.
If Rudy hit like 3 free throws, I mean, it would have been a completely different story.
This was such an ugly win, and it was such an individual win that it's bizarre that they're even bragging.
I agree.
Don't get me wrong, you deserve to brag about getting gold medal, of course.
Yeah.
But this, again, like you said to begin with, you didn't silence any doubters.
Nope.
because you got it done, and we're all happy for you.
Mm-hmm.
But the trend is what I'm worried about. The direction of how the team is playing is what I'm worried about.
I don't think if we go again playing like this, regardless of who we take, I don't think we come out with the gold. Like if we play like this again for the whole time.
This is my problem, because you said Team USA played like trash and still won, so it shows that the world isn't catching up like as much as people think.
Right.
I looked at it a little bit differently, because I'm looking at a gold medal game and I'm not seeing Team USA versus whoever. I saw two even basketball teams.
Right, I gotcha.
One team obviously has way more talent, but if the chemistry is disgusting, it doesn't matter.
Right.
I mean, again, the only one that gets to brag today is Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
What the hell? What is Draymond Green doing, who couldn't make a fucking layup when they needed him to?
Yeah.
What is he doing bragging?
Right.
Again, all these guys, I just don't understand how they think like they prove doubters when only KD took care of business.
Exactly.
And early on in the game, they keep calling him captain. I'm like, God, I get it.
Right.
I get it. I get that he's the fucking captain just off of his experience. I don't think he's like a real captain, because who does he fucking lead?
Nobody.
But this team is like, it's looking more and more of like a mess, and KD has to step up and save the day.
Yeah.
And he did it.
He did. Yeah.
Again, I've never seen like, maybe 08 Kobe had to like be clutch.
Yeah.
But he didn't have to carry the fucking offense.
No, he didn't. He didn't. And guys got him open. I mean, he didn't take any bad shots. I don't think Kobe, the whole Olympics, took a bad shot.
With Kobe, it was weird because like tough shots would be good for him, just of how good he was.
Yeah, because I mean, there's shots that for
most guys would be bad shots.
Yeah, for
Kobe, it was not.
Keldon Johnson would be a terrible shot, but for Kobe, it's like, oh, Kobe's gonna make that 8 out of 10 times. That's a great shot.
Yeah,
But he didn't take any. Like, yo, Kobe, what was that? He never takes any of those. Really, no one on the team had to. That was my biggest issue with this game compared to other games. I mean, compared to past Team USA moments, the last two Team USA's, I don't remember guys ever really having to take a bad shot. Yeah, maybe you had to take a tough shot because of shot clock or something like that. But bad shot? No, never. And here we were struggling to get a good shot.
The entire game.
The entire Olympics.
Only like the only time we got good shots was just off of France's breakdowns.
Yep.
And it wasn't us causing breakdowns. It was just miscommunication from them.
Yeah.
Again, it's hard for me to get excited, because this was like, we might as well have been Slovenia yesterday.
Yeah. KD,
Luka Doncic, and no, I don't give a shit about anybody else because they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
There's so many, and we've complained about Popovich, every time we've talked about the team.
Yeah.
But I really don't want to do it today, because we've said all that needs to be said. Again, none of the issues improved or got better.
Right.
But my problem is none of these guys throughout these games ever made a real effort to adapt their game.
Right.
Maybe Zach LaVine.
I think Zach probably.
He tried.
Zach definitely
he was the most of all the guys. I noticed him trying.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, and I'll say I think Drew, when he came and stepped in, I think he made the biggest positive impact with how he already played.
It's how he already played.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. But I'm saying there's other guys who tried to play how they already played, and it looked bad. Drew's the only one who stepped in. All right, I know what I came here to do. I'm going to do what I do best and then it worked.
Yeah.
So.
Other than KD and Drew, just because of Drew's like how he plays, they're the only ones that are getting a good bullet point on their resume off of this.
I agree. Yeah.
Because this whole Olympics made Dame look bad, made Tatum look bad. It made all these guys look bad.
Yeah. Grant looked weak.
Yeah. Again, we could blame coaching so much, but there are certain little things that players could do to get involved more.
Bam's flaws were like so obvious.
Yeah.
Over this.
You know what's crazy?
Stretch.
Only KD got a back cut in this game.
I know.
And he was the only one eating.
Yeah.
Are you like that makes me sick.
Yeah.
That makes me sick that I can't get Zach LaVine a back cut.
Right.
When
there's no one who can touch where he can touch on the basket.
I can't get Drew Holiday a back cut.
Nope. As quick and strong as he is, nope.
And you like I don't know. Do you have Grant? I gotta ask you. And Grant didn't play this game, you know.
Yeah.
But I gotta know why was Damian Lillard the one that had to sacrifice his entire game?
When it seems like he has the game that's the easiest to, we just need to get Damian open. That's it.
Why was he the only guy that was clearly forced to drastically adjust his game?
Yeah, because he played the guard on a team full of stacked guys. I'll tell you this, and this is from experience. Obviously, I'm not as good as Damian Lillard. I never will be. But certain guys, like, I always had a hard time playing like all-star games. Like I made a few all-star teams, believe it or not. But I always had a hard time because coming from being like the main scorer on your team to being the
part of the team is kind of weird.
Part of the team, everyone's the main scorer on their team. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. So
I noticed that in Damian at times. But the thing is, we weren't being coached to win gold medals, right? In my little all-star game, they're being coached as if they're a team because we're taking a team. So it's like, I don't know why this strategy was like, yo, Damian, I know you can drop 60 points any given night, but tonight we just need 10 assists. We don't need anything else. And then Damian was making passes at times. He should have been aggressive. He didn't use his range. He used his range like twice the whole Olympics. Like, and it wasn't good shots. It was like, shot clock running down. Oh, Damian's wide open, 30 feet from the basket. Hit that.
Out of his makes, I think I only like 2 of the shots.
Right.
And again, I don't get why Damian, who to me is the second best guy on the team behind KD.
I would agree.
I don't understand why he has to sacrifice everything while other lesser role guys literally are trying to force playing the exact same way they always play.
Or better. I think Popovich was trying to force Bam to play better than who he is.
Yeah.
Bam had the ball way too much. And I'm talking about the whole Olympics, not just this game. Bam had the ball like for so early in the shot clock. And then we're trying to move around with Bam holding the ball, on the elbow. It didn't look good at all.
Yeah.
It did not. But I agree, man. I don't know. It shouldn't be that hard to acclimate someone like that who's such a great catch and shoot shooter. It should be pass, cut. Let's get him open right away. But
and what disgusted me probably the most is, again, KD got it going. There's never an effort to involve the rest of the team.
Nope.
Because I hated even the buckets Jason Tatum took were bad shots.
Yeah, they were.
Again, it's crazy. You're playing against a team whose big man just got exposed in the league that all of y'all play in.
Yep.
And he got exposed by exactly the weak-ass offense that y'all run.
Yep.
ISOs, pick and rolls, random handoffs just to force people to move.
Mm-hmm.
And in this game, KD gets to attack, Fournier, DeColo, Batum, TLC.
Yeah.
Gobert gets switched on to Damian Lillard. Where does Damian Lillard go? 10 steps behind the 3-point line.
Right. Just get Gobert out of the paint.
For Devin Booker to take a bad shot.
Yep. And then you have a disadvantage on the break.
I don't understand. Terrence Mann just lit his ass up.
Yeah.
You're forcing ISOs and none of them are on Gobert, the worst individual defender on the court.
I didn't see them really exploit any mismatches. It was just like Durant, who's a mismatch for everybody, but they didn't really attack mismatches much, period.
Again, but they're trying to ISO all the time. I don't understand.
I know, right? They're ISOing the good matchups.
Yeah, it's like counterintuitive. I don't get. Again, a lot of it falls back on Popovich.
Mm-hmm.
But I expect some of these guys to be able to make basic adjustments.
I agree, and it can't, to your point, it's hard to blame it all on Popovich because the Kerr and Jay Wright were also there. There was another coach there. I don't remember. Sorry, I just don't remember who it was. But they had a bunch of coaching minds there, a bunch of guys who know basketball really well. It's just maybe that chemistry was off. Maybe the coaching staff chemistry was off because I saw at times, other guys had the clipboard. And Popovich was laying back watching, seeing what we're doing. And I just didn't feel.
I never felt coaching.
Yeah, exactly. I never felt the impact of the coaches.
Yeah, bizarre because Krzyzewski, that's all I felt.
Yeah.
So I do want to give him credit before I forget. Defense normally I was also pretty critical of.
Yeah.
But I like their commitment to guarding Fournier and DeColo because they were the prime creators for the team.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that was
kind of
a lot of the
Fournier.
Yeah, and that was a lot of the reason why France had these stretches where they couldn't really score was because the two premier creators couldn't get anything going.
Yep.
So
that's all right, Fournier. Save it for the Knicks, baby. Save your energy. We need it.
It's crazy because DeColo and Fournier are really not good ball handlers.
No.
And their only game plan is, get up in their shit and try to strap.
Mm-hmm.
Only Drew Holiday knows how to do that.
Yeah.
Devin Booker, you don't know how to get up on guys and strap. What is going on? Zach LaVine, you don't know how not to foul.
Nope. They caught him with those pump fakes 4 times.
And he's complaining to fucking Popovich every time. Dude, you're hacking. What's your problem?
Yeah. They know he's bouncy. They know he wants to jump. Yeah. He wants to dunk. He wants to block everything.
It was crazy how elite they made Gobert look.
Yeah.
I mean, getting killed by guards the whole tournament. And of course, in the last game, Gobert gets off.
Yep.
I was sitting there begging for him to make more free throws because I'm like, y'all deserve to lose off of a trash free throw shooter making his fucking free throws.
I agree.
Because you're not, it's one thing if you're hacking Rudy to put him on the line specifically. You're hacking.
You just weren't playing good D.
Stop him.
Right.
That shit, it really, again, I thought this was a lot more about KD's individual greatness and just France struggling in certain ways.
Yeah.
That's really it. I didn't even notice anything else from Team USA.
Nope, me either.
Nothing worth mentioning, at least.
Right. Congrats to Team USA. Congrats to all our track winners as well. Caught a couple track winners, and I know we have international listeners, but I'm only going to congratulate the USA people because I know them at the moment. I'll congratulate you guys next podcast.
Yeah. Did you see the Italian comeback in the race?
Yeah.
Dude, him like leaning forward with his head.
Yep.
That was wild.
Yeah, it was tough.
I felt so bad for that. I think it was England guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, dude, like, imagine going the rest of your life knowing you lost because the dude leaned like an inch more than you did.
I know.
That show made me cry.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Yep. All right. Do we have any other sports to talk about?
I do got to get this off my chest real quick while we're here.
What?
To stay on this USA final game.
Yeah.
I've seen enough of your boy in the league. Ntilikina I've seen enough.
He hit a big shot.
So did Zach LaVine. So did Zach LaVine. So did Dame.
They're all stars.
He made a shot. He somehow hit a big shot and still showed me how awful he was.
I know, man. I don't know how he makes the France team.
Because I know you saw the next play after he made that great shot. Literally threw it right to Team USA.
Yeah.
I've never seen a worse pick and roll or pick and pop pass in my life.
Hey, we got Kemba this year.
But my thing is, no.
Hopefully
this
we don't
isn't
even
like
see him on the court.
My thing is, it's not that we're past not seeing him on the court. I've been knowing he has no business being on the court.
But the point I'm making is now the Knicks are beyond his
yes, and it's time to clear up that roster spot for somebody meaningful.
Yeah, because I'm saying maybe 2 years ago, maybe he didn't belong on the court, but the Knicks weren't much better than him. Now we're up here now, and
he's still down there.
We've leveled up past him,
He's honestly from his rookie year, he looks worse.
Yeah, he kind of came out with some energy. He showed his length a lot as a rookie. They thought he was going to be kind of like Schroeder, but no, he's awful, none of that.
Bro. He's not. Him and
he looks younger too. By the way,
he does. Yeah.
Immature.
Him and league guard, that's not a synonymous thing.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen enough. It's time to go overseas or wherever the
next one,
wherever the next step of his career is, because it's not in the fucking NBA. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah,
you're fourth, fifth year guard and you can't dribble the ball.
Right.
Evan Fournier is getting looks and he can't even create space.
Right.
Everybody on Team USA, Devin Booker, who's, again, we've never accused him of being a point guard.
Mm-hmm.
He's creating off the dribble.
Yep.
But you look awful running a pick and roll.
Yep.
He looked so bad after that fucking shot he made that I wanted the shitty guard who was playing even worse to come back in the game.
The kind of balding one.
Yeah, the one that literally never looked at the basket.
Yep. Yeah.
After Ntilikina started, he hit the shot and all of a sudden he's involved. Dude, no.
You're supposed to hit open shots. That's what every professional basketball player can do.
Right. That shit really made me mad how he was getting aggressive while Fournier wasn't touching the ball and DeColo wasn't touching the ball.
Right.
Who the fuck do you think you are, bro? You can't even get on the Knicks court and you out here fucking up your own team?
France looked like they didn't think we were going to make adjustments from the last game.
That's true. Again, I think DeColo didn't. He had a bad game.
He did. Yeah.
Fournier got strapped. I thought DeColo just didn't play well.
Yep. I agree.
But I just needed to get that off my chest because he's taken up a valuable roster spot that I watched a number of TBT tournament guys deserve.
Yep. Okay. Before we get out of here, give me your top 3 destinations for the 3 guys that will likely be moved. So that's Damian, it's Ben, and we'll go with Schroeder. Give me your top 3 places for each.
Okay, Schroeder, I'll go Utah,
Mm-hmm.
Boston,
Mm-hmm.
Dallas.
Okay. We agree on that one. Exactly. Okay.
For Ben Simmons, it's hard to pick places because I know that like the package wouldn't be there, but
regardless of the package.
Toronto,
Yeah.
San Antonio,
Yeah.
and Houston.
Yeah. Okay. We agree on that one too.
And for Dame, I would say
it's harder for Dame, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Because I'm trying to like picture a realistic fit. I think the Clippers would walk to the championship if there was a way.
If they keep the big 2?
No, they could lose one of the big 2.
Okay. Just either one of them, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
And a majority of the pieces they already have.
Right.
Okay, Clippers 1, I'd say not Philly. If there was a way, Boston would walk to a championship.
I agree.
And Toronto.
Toronto?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I would agree with that.
Any different teams you had in mind for any of those guys?
I wasn't sure about my third one for Dame. I like Toronto. I like Toronto as well, I think. I know the Wizards couldn't make it work, but that was my third one. If somehow, obviously, it would be nearly impossible at this point, but if they got him somehow, I think they would be crazy. Obviously.
I mean, your Knicks would walk to the conference finals.
Yeah, but
if they could do it.
Yeah, but we have a starting point guard. I mean, Dinwiddie isn't really. You mean he's starter caliber, but he's not a starting point guard. So you guys could still get another point guard, but I think you guys paid him starter money, so that's the issue. All right, you want to do the movie now, or you want to do it next time? We're pretty long at this point.
Yeah, if we're coming up or past 2 hours, we should just close it out.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that was our free agency recap. We'll be back because we do believe one of these guys at least will have a new home next. So we'll talk about that. Definitely gonna get into football soon.
I don't know if I believe that.
You don't think any of these guys are gonna get traded?
I mean, Schroeder is obviously going somewhere
Schroeder's
else.
Going somewhere.
But yeah. The Dame and Ben situation is, I don't know. I'm not as confident as you that they're moving.
You think? Well, you think Ben's gonna either move or sit out? Ben doesn't finish the year at 76er.
Oh, that's a guarantee.
Right. Okay.
But my thing is,
but you think he'll start the year at 76?
I'll never respect him again if he doesn't sit out. Mm-hmm. But it's a good chance that he'll play.
Mm-hmm.
But I just can't respect him if he does that.
Okay.
So
maybe he'll. I mean, well, I don't know.
No,
it doesn't seem like teams really care about it, about the sitting out. I used to think teams cared about that, like before they got somebody after they just sat out, but obviously they don't anymore because like 2 of the top 10 players in the league have done it. So let's see who. Do you think John Wall's gonna get traded? I feel like if he hasn't yet, he's not going to.
No, yeah. I can't picture there being like I don't know how valuable he is.
Okay.
Because his production is he just coming off a major injury and he's like a guard. He's just like a point guard.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really a top tier. He's kind of middle of the pack guard.
Yeah.
What are teams willing to give up for that?
Right.
And what teams would he really even fit on now that I think about it? Because it's not that many.
Yeah. It's tough not seeing him again because, we saw him very limitedly last year. I'd have to see the shape he's in now, what his speed looks like, what his defense,
It's a lot of the problem is a lot of the contenders, you have to play off ball.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're, a primary ball, even you saw it with CP the last 2 places he's been to.
Yeah.
You have to be able to play off ball, no matter how ball dominant of a guard you are.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen Wall look good playing off ball.
Right.
So.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for listening as always. Subscribe. Tune in next time. We'll get into some movies and definitely some music because we definitely don't have much more basketball to talk about.
Yeah, we're chilling on basketball. Other than the potential trades, we're probably going to be chilling on basketball for a minute.
Yep. Football coming up. We doing a fantasy league this year for football? We talk about it every year. We haven't done it.
I'll talk to you off air. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I got you. All right. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for listening and later.